Generic greetings! In the previous episode, we sacrificed 20 slaves to the old god Nyarlathotep, and then we actually, no, that was something else, sorry. We actually put in the shower and the cells, so that was good. We then needed, really, to expand our canteen, which we then got done, and I guess we are pretty much ready for prisoners. So this episode, we will be, I'm going to click on that Polaroid there. It always appears in the warden's office. What we're going to do is run some power. We're going to sort of brick this thing off, because at the moment, as you can see, we haven't got a fence all the way around it, so I need to sort that out. Once we've done that, we'll then be able to get prisoners, and hopefully the prison won't burn down. So let's just get on with that first. We've got the materials and then a fence, then we want to clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy all the way right along here, and then put this fence in. Once that's done, we can then put a couple more doors in places, so objects and then large jail doors. Spin that around and put them in either side, and while I'm here, I'm going to put one in there, and then one in there, and just check around here. That should be fine. Okay, then drop the tool. And then, how much money we've got? 28 grand, more than enough really to get this thing completed. You can see we've got big rows of shower heads put in there, so they'll take a while to get sorted, but they will be, and eventually. We're just going to go to our utilities as well, and I think we will probably go down the bottom here and put in some of these. So where do I need to put it? It's got a nice little bit of gappage, so the gap will be, I think, there, and then obviously we'll put capacitors all the way along the outside as well. Not all the way along, but enough, so that should do us quite nicely. And then this goes in, I believe, this corner here, and then the water heater will go there, something like that anyway, and then we'll see what happens when they connect that up. I'm just going to go to rooms and then just undesignate these cells here. The reason for that is because I want to get prisoners in. I don't want them to go over there because this one is not completed. Obviously, it hasn't got any power, it hasn't got any water, so and it's further away from the shower, so we need to make sure that they only go into these bits here. I just have a quick counter rule, so 2, 4, 6, 8, hang on, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 40 in total. So what I'm going to do is go to reports and then prisoners, and then go to, no, actually it's intake, isn't it? Normal risk. I'm going to close off our max sec, close off our min sec, and then max out our medium sec. And we're going to go to total prisoners, and we want to say a total of 20 prisoners. So that's half our current safe capacity. Obviously, we could get a little bit more over there, but it's not really safe because I haven't got much stuff there. So we will go to staff and then to our cook, and we'll hire 1, 2 cooks. There we go. Guards will hire 1, 2 more. There we are. And then I think that'll be about right. We do need our dog handler and things like that, and they'll be in this area here. In fact, is that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's sort this out as well. So we've got a brick wall, and this is going to be where we'll have our dogs and our security room, things like that. That should be all sorted. And then we'll go to objects, and then to probably a staff door should be fine for the most part here. Staff door about there, and then this one we'll have as a solitary door. The reason for that is this is going to be the armory, so we want that very, very secure for fairly obvious reasons. So that should be that all done. What we also need to do is go to our deployment and then go to staff only. It's quite dark at the moment, so it's difficult to do, but staff only there, staff only, I guess, in kitchen. Actually, no, because we don't want that. We want that shared. We want to put people to work in there, but staff only definitely around that outside. Reception will have a staff only, even though they're going to come through there, because actually I don't know. If you have reception as staff only, I don't know how that works. And we definitely want the storage is staff only. There we go. This is a spare room that we currently don't have any use for, and there's been no one really commenting on what we can change that to, so we'll just keep it as is. That should be mostly what we need staff only. Obviously all of this in the centre needs to be staff only, plus this extra bit around, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Right. So, sip of beverage while we wait. Today's quite hot beverage is a cup of green tea, because it's just after dinner time, and I always have a green tea after dinner time. Don't know why. Let's just shove in some doors here. Standard doors, and then I'll put standard jail doors in and force them open. That's like a bit of a security thing that I like to do. We'll go to standard doors there as well. Do I want actually normal? Do I want them there actually? No, maybe not. If we're going to have people coming in here and working, maybe standard doors will be fine. We don't really need any doors, if I'm completely honest with you, because we're going to have people working there, but we also don't want people coming in and stealing things. So actually, to fix that, we do need some metal detectors. So let's put in 1, 2 there. There's only one entrance to this, and people have said that could be a problem, and they're right. This could be a problem, but we'll see how it goes. And we'll put 3, 4 there. So there's metal detectors there. That's fine. And we also need a metal detector, I believe, on this area here. So if they go into cell blocks, then they'll get caught as well. There we are. Out of funds at the moment, but it's okay, because when we receive prisoners, we'll get a boatload of money. So we're getting prisoners very shortly. What I'll do, actually, I'll pause it, and we'll sort out a couple of things, including our policy and regime. So regime, as you can see, is currently free time. We'll go to eat. Actually, no, we'll do sleep first. Sleep, I guess, from 12 up until 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You wake up at 6 and you have a shower straight away. Then you have 2 hours of free time, and then you have 2 hours of the old eats. And then we'll have, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of work. And then, actually, no, we'll drop a free time on either side of that. Then another couple of hours of eat, and then a couple of hours of free. And then we're about right. We don't actually have any lockup, which is not good. We do need some lockup. I think I need some lockup after the eat. Lockup is always useful because it really does suppress the prisoners, which is something you do want to. You don't really want to smother them, and you don't want to, keep them locked up constantly in the cells. I mean, you can do that, but it's always best to have a bit of lockup because it's like class as punishment. So you have a bit of free time, bit of eat, then lockup, and then you work. And then I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of work, and then 2 hours of eat, and then you got your free time at the end. So that's not too bad for a regime. Unpause it there, and then we just need to go to. Actually, no, we probably need to go to our policy as well. So meal quantity and variety is fine. That's medium. I'm going to pull our parole cut off to about 15%. I think is not too bad. Now destruction. If you do any of these, I always search. There's always, there's no reason why you wouldn't search, because if you search someone and they haven't got anything on them, then they get a bit pissed off. But if they've actually done any of these top bits here, like destruction or really anything apart from luxuries, arguably, they're already pissed off anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. If you get destruction, then you get a bit of solitary. Actually, no, you'll get a bit of lockdown. What we're going to do is change all of these to lockdown for the time being, because we don't yet have solitary cells. And then I'm going to leave the hours for the punishments until later, and when I've actually got solitary in, then I can change it around and mess around with it, things like that. Okay, so what else do we need? Well, we've got a couple of grants on the go. There's one more I can actually get. Let's just go to our grants. You see, we've got prisoner acclimatization and engagement, so we're going to grab that there. That's a nice, easy grant. It says assign prisoners to work in laundry, in the kitchen, and in the cleaning cupboard. Now, we don't have a couple of these, but what I'm going to do is fix them relatively easy. So we'll go for cleaning cupboard like so, and then that's going to be cleaning cupboard. And then that's going to be cleaning cupboards. So there's 2 cleaning cupboards. There we are. Actually, while I'm here as well, I'm going to go to deployment staff only to make sure that these are staff only, because they should be. There we are. And is that one sorted? Nope, they haven't yet put the thing all the way around. We'll get there eventually. So that's fine. This one, it needs to be the laundry, which we haven't actually put in yet. We've got 10 grand, so we can probably sort that out. So laundry, we'll sort that out. And clicky, and draggy. There we are. It does need to go in here. No, it doesn't really. We could put a door there as well, and for some reason the frame rate's gone all garbage. It's going to auto-save for some reason. I'm going to put 2 entrances in there. This room, I think we're going to have as a holding cell, but I don't really know just yet, so we'll see how it goes. So laundry, a couple of things we need. So we need laundry machines, which we cannot rotate, which is problematic. So I'm going to put probably 3 laundry machines in for now. I think we need 4 in total, but I don't really have the money to spend on all of it. We then need some laundry baskets, a table, and ironing board. Table can go right down the bottom there. That's quite easy. The ironing boards can be quite simple and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, don't know if you need that many. And then the laundry baskets, I simply do that. I know it looks like it's blocking up, but A, prisoners can walk over things anyway, so it's not too much of a problem, and B, they will be shifted at some point anyway, so there's no real issue there. So here we go. We're going to get our prisoners right now. There you go. There's the prisoner bus coming along, and once we've unloaded all of these chemicals, all the chemicals will be removed. We'll then be able to get the prisoners in. So here we are. Here's all of our prisoners. And there's a face in game. And we've already got something on a person. What I'm going to do is go to our intelligence and then informants, so we can see that we've got some extremely tough feelers and other things as well. Strong people as well. We haven't got any gang members because we haven't got gangs on, which is, something I definitely didn't want anywhere. We can see that a lot of these doors have now been locked shut, so we're going to go around the prison and either force open or close them depending on where they are. So I want to force most of them open. In fact, pretty much every one of them that's going to be prisoner traversable, I'm going to force open, because I just don't need the hassle of automatic doors opening and closing. This one, obviously, we definitely don't want. We do need to go to our deployment and then staff only, and just make sure that all of this is staff only, like so. So this now is a proper compound in the centre. I don't know why those They're slightly different. I think it's just because there's no lights there. That's fine, that's fine. Visitation sword, interrogation, that's about right. And that's okay. So, that's fine. I just need to go to our objects once more and then go to metal detector, put another metal detector there because I didn't have the money last time, and then just go to utilities. I'll unpause it while they're getting sorted, and then we just need to run a couple of things in here. So there's one going all the way to that edge, and then we need that connected up as well. There we are. That looks about right. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is run some electrical cable up to here, then electrical cable, I think we should be able to run it from here all the way along to about there, and then I'm going to run it into this room like so. That should be about right, and then we're going to run one from about here straight up into these rooms. Now that should power most of them, but we are going to, just for the sake of ensuring it's correct, do that, and then that should power all of that room up. Obviously this area needs to have connections as well, so we might as well just run some electrical cable while we're there like that, and then we'll run one. I think we need to run it, actually we could probably run it around here, but in reality it's probably easy if we just do, actually no, we don't want to do that. We definitely want to really do some proper load balancing on these generators, so we'll run that up to about here and then into there, and that should power all of these rooms up. There we go, and that's 2 grids that we've got on the go. 707 is our daily cash flow, not too bad at all. You see there's all the prisoners going around here. What we do need to do is go to our rooms and then to kennels, and we need to get our kennel all put in. For some reason this has not been sorted. I must have just missed it out, or it hasn't done it for whatever reason. It's me that's the problem. It's always me that's the problem. Dog crates will go straight in the top, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I should really then in reality we just dismantle both of these doors and move them up by 1, and the reason we want to do that, we'll just cancel that so we don't spend a bit more money. The reason we do that is because it will allow us to, let me force these doors open, allow me to have another set of kennels down the bottom, so that's always useful. Excellent. Right, so laundry is now complaining that it is not plumbed in, which is obvious, so we'll connect these up. So there's some electrical cable and there's some water pipes. Strangely, it doesn't require hot water, which actually no, washing machine wouldn't. See, some washing machines, more the old ones, they actually, this is pretty much useless information, but it's something you learn as you get older. Washing machines used to have a hot and cold fill, and that's tended to be the older ones. The new ones have a heating element in it, so it will actually heat the water and brings it in. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, actually, you're best off having the other one that brings in the hot water, so you're not having to put cold in water in and then reheating it." But in reality, you've got the dead leg of water that's already cold in the pipe anyway, and the washing machine doesn't actually empty that to get to the hot like you would normally do with a tap. You turn it on, hot water or cold water will come out of the hot tap until it actually goes through all the system, then you get hot water. So that's why they actually have cold water feeds rather than hot. Now, I know you don't give a crap about that, but I had something to talk about while I build this kennel, so hey, why not? So, almost done here, I think. I did say dismantle up, but they've got a lot of things to actually place. I will do a full shakedown tonight because I have not yet searched all of the stacks of food as well as all the boxes in here, so we do need to do a good full search and then we'll see what is what. So this kennel is still shouting at me saying, actually we're not nowhere near completed, and that is true. So I'm just going to put these in here and then we will then connectorate these up with some walls, and that should be that sorted. We then need to go to dog patrols, and then I will set a dog patrol right round the top here. I'm only going to set it going from left to right, and then actually I might do this end here. No. Do I need to do it? I might as well have it so it goes like this all the way along to the end. And then it means you are doing a full search all the way around the perimeter of the cell block. Probably don't need to do these corners because in reality, if they're going to dig, they're going to dig straight down and out because that's the closest area. I don't think they're taking dog patrols into account when they're digging. So there we go. There's 2 dog patrols. We'll have a third one probably outside the walls here. Okay, so there's 3 dog patrols. So that's fine. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 dog patrols, because you always want one spare. You can see this is obviously saying it's not enclosed, but it will be eventually. So, assigned 2 armed guards on a patrol. We have not yet got armed guards because we haven't yet got an armory, which I will get in but a moment. So it is sleep time now. Let's do a full shakedown. So 133 places to search. We've only got a total of 12 staff, and several of them are on patrol, so it's not great, but it should be okay. It should be okay for this search here. We've already found a couple of things. Let's have a quick look. We've got our batons, we've got some medicine, we've got booze, we've got hammer and a drill. And if I just go to intelligence and last 24 hours, we can see that most of these have just been found or smuggled in when the prisoners came. So I don't expect to have any of the prisoners around here with anything. So, you know, I thought I'd do it. Why not? Not bad beverages at all. So, you see, there's quite a demand for tools, narcotics, and luxuries, not for weapons, because it's not a violent prison, or at least I hope it's not. I really hope that Periwinkle will... there we go, that's our search completed. I hope that Periwinkle, with his ability to find things better with dogs, will help us out, because, as I've said, digging here is going to be problematic, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the outside, then it's 5, 6, and 7, which are arguably very, very easy to dig through. I think this wire fence does have a slight delay to dig through it, like... dirt takes you seconds, whereas this one might take you a seconds and a bit. You know, it's a tiny bit more, but not really. Nothing noteworthy. And we're still waiting for the power to go on here, and it is now being powered. So all this in the centre is being powered. That's cool. Looks like we've found a tunnel over that area there. I don't believe it at all, so I'm not even going to do anything about it. Obviously, we've got our infirmary there. We've got the morgue. We haven't yet got any programs running, so we've got kitchen safety and hygiene. We're going to start that one up there. Workshop safety, several interested, but we're not going to be doing that one. Do we need to do more? We don't need to do more there for the kitchen safety and hygiene. Foundation education program, 7 interested, actually. I'm very surprised about that, but we haven't done that anymore. We haven't got that on the go yet, because we haven't got a classroom. Spiritual guidance is also there. That's one thing I haven't got. I haven't got parole, so maybe that building there can be parole, but it means they have to come through visitation or this area down the bottom. But it's not too much of a problem. If we make that our parole room, then it sort of makes sense. It also means actually if they kick off, then they only have to go through one jail door to get out, so maybe it's not. We'll see. Anyway, going to go to this visitation, actually dump these visitation tables. Now, I know a lot of people were not a fan of me saying we were only going to use these visit booths, but it's different because we haven't used them before in any of the prisons, so I think we'll stick with it. So visitor is that side. There we go. I know many people have said this is actually pointless because all this back area here has clean access, so there's no real point in this. No, you're right. If we want to do a very high security prison, these things are fantastic, but in reality we don't need to use them. I just like the idea of that, where they come in here, then they go this side, and then they go out. They don't get to see the visitors, even though there's nothing stopping them going round here and then straight in and giving them a little hug, so fine. Anyway, we've got several prisoners not actually able to work but not working, so let's sort that out. So we want to go to our, I believe it is in, it's been shifted, hasn't it? It's in, where is it? Logistics? Yes, prison labour. It's temperature. Quick check temperature. That's quite warm. That's quite warm. That is quite cold, so we probably need to put some radiators in there. Go to prison labour and we'll assign jobs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assign 10 in there. Laundry. 9, 10 people, and then cleaning cupboard the same. We'll actually max the cleaning cupboard out, to be honest with you. And there we go, and that should be, yeah, there we go. There's a nice little grant. Lovely, lovely. Go to reports again, and then to our grants, and we can see we've got cell block C, prison manufacturing facility we're not going to get, inmate nutritional research we're probably not going to do, although we can do it, and it gives us a lot of money. Cell block C is there as well. Max Sec is on the go. We just need to get, I'll go for cell block C because we might expand later on, but we'll see. You can see that's actually, for one, the frame rate's gone back to crap. Oh no, it's okay now. And they see a lot of the colours drained out because it's currently summer, but it's not overly warm. I need to sort the radiators out, as I said. Let's sort that out now. So we'll go to where are radiators? I think they're in objects. Yeah, there's a radiator there. So where can I put radiators? And you can put them pretty much wherever you want, but I really need to put them where we've got easy access to hot water. So let's have a quick look at hot water pipes. These don't require hot water, but hot water is not around here. What I'm going to do then is probably put a radiator in this area here, and we'll put one over the bottom. Actually, we won't because we can't really have access to it. That should be fine. And then if we just go to utilities and then to hot water piping, we we should be able to just run a hot water pipe up like so, and that will hopefully connect that up and run. A couple of people said it, it won't be able to run as far as I've run the pipe. Well, actually, that's wrong because it does seem to work. I've put it there. I've run the pipe the wrong way, so let's just run it a second. We'll go to objects once more. Hot water pipe, and then like so, that runs it. Fine, okay, sorted. So that should run the pipe, and that should warm it up. The thing is, the prisoners, they don't really, they're not going to stand in the open and go, it's cold, I hate this prison. They're actually going to go, it's cold, I'm going somewhere warm, and they will do that. So they're not like, they're not stupid that way, which is good. And there you go, that's now a radiator all put in. Let's just have a quick look at our temperature. You can see that that's actually warmed this area up quite nicely. So if you're around here, it's 20 degrees, nice. 16 degrees in these corners. The overall, it's actually ambient 16. Look at that, that's 28 in that one there. It's absolutely boiling. That's because of the water boiler there anyway, the boiler. So kitchen's always got a slightly higher ambient temperature. But overall, temperature around the place is not too bad. What I'm probably going to do as well, actually, is just go to radiators. We'll put some rads in and around here. Probably just in the corners there. And then hot water. What I'll do, I'll wait until I've actually fixed that. Look at that there. It doesn't actually go all the way. See that? It only goes to there. So we've got a couple that we've missed out. So I'm going to go to dismantle utility, and it's probably going to dismantle too much, but I'll dismantle that and we'll see if it's actually going to go. I will need to replace this. There we go. And then small water pipe is already connected. That's fine. There you go. So there's the rads being put in. That's good. Hot water pipe we will obviously run like so. And probably like that. That'll probably be the most efficient way, because if we run it along there and across, it probably won't. It'll probably be far too long. So there we go. Right, 25 grand in the queue. We need to go to, I think, rooms, and then I think armory, and we'll get the armory grant done. So there's one armory. It's going to be quite small because we're not going to have a lot of armed guards in here, and then we do need to put a couple of these lockers in. That's 6 in total. Obviously, I'm only going to have. I don't know, actually. I don't really know how many I'm going to have. But I don't really want loads. I don't want loads and loads and loads and loads. But we'll see. While that's waiting, I'm going to check our needs. And you can see that needs, bladder, bowel, sleep, foods. It's all the basic stuff, recreation, family, comfort. The problem we're going to have is that the need for literacy is going to slowly go up. I think the warmth need, we might have problems when it gets to winter. And spirituality is going to creep up because we don't have any of that. So we do really need to sort that out at some point. 1, 2, 3 armed guards, because it's always best to have an extra one. And we need 2 armed guards on patrol. So what I'll do, I will go to our deployment and then armed patrols. And we can see that we could set an armed patrol. I'm going to... See, these are guards walking around like that, you see. What I want to do then is have an armed patrol that goes along like so. Up to that radiator. And there's an armed patrol. Alright. And then same sort of deal in the yard here. So they'll just have a little stroll around. I could have them stroll up and down these, but I don't think I really need to. Speaking of up and down these areas, we really should have a patrol in the cells. So there's one of them, and then we'll do the same thing down here, but I actually haven't put it in, so there we go. Right, so that's another grant done. Excellent, we're flying through these very, very nicely. Go back to grants, MaxSec infrastructure grant there for CCTV and other things like that. Manufacturing facility, nutritional research, which single low quality, low variety meal for 2 days, and then 3 high variety high. What do we need for tool cleanup? What you need? Prisoners at least 40. Okay, crackdown on drugs again. Prisoners at least 30. I think we'll go for the... See, if I do the new inmate nutrition, we could do it now before we get more prisoners, and that would make more sense. No, because I don't really want to disrupt it as we go, and also I'm aware of the time, and I want to get more prisoners in. So I want to say, back to our intake here, And then I want a total amount of prisoners. Filter capacity, actually, filter 40. There we go. Again, normal risk prison. I know there was several people mentioned in the comments last episode what sort of prisoners we're going to get. I mentioned at the start that we're actually going to just go for normal risk prisoners. We're not going to go for high risk or anything like that. Later on, if we expand, because there's been a lot of talk about expanding to the around this prison, which I'm more than happy to do because we haven't really got into that a lot. I did expand in last year when we did expand in the different areas, but not to any great extent, so it might be a good idea to look into that. But anyway, we might extend. Anyway, let's go for a couple of cells, because we really need to sort these out. So I'm going to finish off these cells here, and it's just a case of putting the L's in, like so. And there we are, same sort of thing. It's the same up until the end. I'll actually unpause it while we crack on there. There's been several suggestions for naming the prison again, and nothing that's really sort of blowing anything away. So at the moment it is literally generic update 7 prison, but that's okay. We don't need a name until the end. I think someone called it Featherstone's Revenge. Which, since we haven't got a Featherstone as far as I can tell, although we might, I haven't actually checked. I should really check. It's dangerous doing this, by the way, because I'm actually putting I'm putting these in while they're building. So if I've got one wrong and we get to the end and it is completely wrong, then I've really screwed it up. There's all that sorted. That's not too bad at all. And we'll go to utilities and then electrical cable. That is all ran. We need to go to our large water pipe and just check the top there. We can see it's actually ran right to the end. And it is on the top, so it should be on the bottom. So, whoomp, straight to the end. There we go. And then we will run our water pipe like so. Now, obviously, these are going to be for all of the toilets that are in, or will be in. And this will bring our total capacity up to 80, which I think is more than reasonable for a small map with almost every option you can get in it. There we are. Right, so they're going to sort that out. We've got the Visitation here that's currently got no purpose. So, actually, for the probably £8,000 it's going to cost me, I might as well fix it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, £6,000 actually. So, that's fine. More than happy to do that. I'm going to receive loads of prisoners. Because of that, we do need to sort a couple of things out. We need to hire probably 2 more cooks, up to 20 guards, I would say. There we go. And then probably extend the kitchen somewhat. But actually, before we do that, we will have a problem with electricity. So what I'll do is go to capacitors and run some capacitors to the end there. That should sort that out. And then back to our objects, fridges, and then basically put a fridge right up to the end there, like so. Too many fridges in this, I'm aware of that. Also, people have commented that I have too many... I have about 144, I think someone mentioned, capacity in this canteen. That might be the maximum capacity, but it won't be the ideal capacity, because when they're grouped up too much, it can cause fights, especially when you've got legendary prisoners and things that are volatile and they can kick off, and it's really, really, really problematic. But I guess the good thing about having a very oversized canteen is that if we do expand, like has been discussed, we don't have to necessarily put a new canteen in. Now, I'm not convinced. If we expand any which way, we're obviously going to have another cell block. Apart from if we expand and just put in a workshop, like many have suggested. If we expand, say, the right, it's probably just going to be a big field and a workshop, sawmill, that sort of thing. If we expand up the rest of the areas, then if we expand up this side, for example, this top and bottom, what we'll end up doing is expanding it and then connecting this and then another cell block, ideally the same thing as this. So probably we will need another canteen, but again, we can cross that bridge if and when we come to it. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there because we are cracking on quite nicely. We have got 20 prisoners we're going to receive, or we have just received, I believe, if we go over here. Nope. We have not yet received our prisoners. It's because we've still got boxes and boxes and boxes of things coming in. There you go. Eventually, these trucks will disappear, and we will have the prisoners, I say. he says, not entirely confident that actually is the case. No, we definitely should have prisoners turning up. It's just because we've got a full storage and a full area here, they're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and we've only got the 8 original builders that we started with. So anyway, yes, we will have prisoners turning up. So we've got prisoners. We've expanded the kitchen and the canteen. We've got all of this bottom bit done. We've got this centre sorted out. We've got several grants completed, visitation all added on. So overall, we are progressing very, very nicely. Next episode, I will hopefully get all of these rooms done, because these are currently they don't really have a purpose yet. They've all been roughly designated out for chapel, library, shop, etc. Things like that. We need to sort a couple of extra bits out. We haven't yet got our solitary area, which is something I really need to get sorted. And as you can see, it's still summer, but it's gonna head to autumn and then into winter, so we need to make sure that we've got enough heating so people don't die of frostbite. Okay, so as always, comments in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.